Hello and welcome back to Movie Health Community, the internet's unofficial #1 source of information on health hazards at the movies. Please keep in mind that nothing posted by Movie Health Community is medical advice, nor has it been reviewed by any medical professionals. Five Nights at Freddy's is the newest video game movie out in theaters. It's an adaptation of a video game I believe is called Five Nights at Freddy's, starring Josh Hutcherson in a lead role, and let's see if this movie is safe at all. The answer is no! This movie is not safe for photosensitive viewing. This movie has a lot of uses of flickering fluorescent lights in darkness. It has extreme strobe lights in 2 scenes, the first of which happens immediately after the third dream sequence, the second one during the climactic fight. This takes place in an arcade, so the arcade has a lot of blinking lights in the background. And there are strobes of lightning during a thunderstorm. Unfortunately, we've had to give this movie a 10 out of 10 for flashing lights. It is not safe to watch if you have health issues related to photosensitivity. The camera motion is pretty tame though, so there are no risks related to motion sickness with shaky cam or disorienting camera angles. As for mental health triggers, the biggest ones I've got are: there are jump scares involving the imagery of a clown. Also, there is a backstory told in which an act of suicide is implied but never stated directly. Now, this movie's not safe to watch if you've got photosensitive health issues, but let's move past that. Is this movie any good? No, this movie was garbage. Oh, it was so terrible. And I feel real bad about that because I went to a Thursday afternoon matinee to a movie that is having a simultaneous release on a streaming service. And the theater was filled with fans. There were so many people there that were even dressed up as if they were part of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. So I should have had a good time with a good audience. I'll get to that in a minute, but first the movie itself. It's not good. The biggest thing that could have made this movie good is if Josh Hutcherson had brought anything to the table as an actor, anything to his character at all. It seems like he was just there to read his lines and didn't have any additional depth to bring his character beyond what was written on the page. This movie starts to set you up with what I thought was a decent disarming of the audience, to make something that seems dangerous not seem as dangerous, but it never paid off on that in double-crossing the characters or the audience. The lighting in this movie was terrible, and I get that the video game has terrible lighting as well. The video game is supposed to have terrible lighting. In the video game, you're in control. You're in full control of what you can see and what you can't. In a movie, you're really not. We know how to light movies really well for nighttime. So why aren't we bringing that to modern horror movies like Five Nights at Freddy's? The fact that they built actual animatronics for this movie is what is preventing me from giving this movie an F grade. So I'm going to give Five Nights at Freddy's a D-. And then just a sidetrack about the audience, there's a line of where an excited audience can go. Most of us who went to see Avengers Endgame or Spider-Man No Way Home in the theaters experienced an excited audience. There's excited, and then there's annoying. My showing for this movie had some of the most annoying people. The teenagers or young adults sitting directly to my right wouldn't stop talking throughout the whole movie. So on one hand, I'm glad that people are showing up to the movies, even though this movie is available on a streaming service, one of the cheaper streaming services at that. I'm glad people are showing up to the theater to see this, but my God, people need to know how to act during a movie when you're at the theater. I'm sure how they're acting would have felt very welcome at home, where they had the option to watch this movie. Sidetrack over. Thank you so much to our readers on Tumblr and Facebook, and as always, an extra special thanks to our followers on our Patreon page, whose names are scrolling across the screen like credits below. I know I say it a lot, but I don't want it to lose its meaning, that we really couldn't do this without you guys. Be sure to stay tuned this coming Monday. I will have a review for you for a movie that doesn't come out until mid-November. Excited to bring that to you. Be sure to like this video, hit subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified when we post new videos. And leave a comment below if you have anything to add to the conversation, especially if you disagree. And as always, stay safe at the movies. It smells like buffalo dip in here. It smells delicious.